Hey Curated Crew, today we're diving into more personal tech products with a head-to-head comparison of Samsung's latest flagship tablet, the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra and the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. Both tablets are powerhouses, but is the S10 Ultra a true upgrade or is it just a refresh? And then we'll answer the question, should you get one? Let's kick things off with design. At first glance, you might not notice a significant difference between these two models. And honestly, that's because there isn't a significant difference. Can you tell me which one is the S10 versus which one is the S9? I can't either. A sentiment that you'll feel more and more as we go through this video. And so we're clear, this is the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra and this is the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. Both models offer the same IP68 water and dust resistance, making them equally durable. However, the S10 Ultra introduces new color options like the Moonstone Grey and Platinum Silver, giving users a refreshed look, not a big deal, as opposed to the beige and the graphite that came with the S9 Ultra. Now, its weight and dimensions are nearly identical again, keeping it light and portable despite the massive screen. The displays are nearly identical in size and quality, with both using dynamic AMOLED panels to support 120Hz refresh rate and HDR10+. Another similarity between these two is their resolution. Both tablets do a 29x60 by 1848, providing sharp visuals for everything from streaming to photo editing, but again, no upgrade. The Tab S10, however, has just a 1% higher screen to body ratio at 90.77%, maximizing your screen real estate by really just 1% over the S9 Ultra. Not sure if you'll notice the 1%, but you tell me, can you see the 1% difference on screen right here? However, the S10 Ultra has a much better anti-reflective coating, which helps with outdoor visibility and indoor light glare if you're frequently in a well-lit room. As you can see here, the S9 Ultra is practically a mirror of me and my videographer nephew, but the same glare is drastically reduced in the S10 Ultra. I don't know about you, but I really detest anything that interrupts my viewing pleasure. Glare, a string, a fly, a speck of dirt, it drives me nuts. So I love this as we can't always be in a super dark room to use our tablet. Now, when it comes to performance, here's where Samsung believes the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra pulls ahead. The S10 has received a major upgrade with respect to processing. The S9 Ultra is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, which is obviously still a top-of-the-line processor. However, the S10 Ultra steps up the game with a MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus. The new chipset in the S10 Ultra offers a serious boost in its CPU performance, and for those who don't know why this is important, the CPU is the brains of the operation and does all of the computing tasks and runs the operating system. The GPU is the graphics processing unit, responsible for processing graphics, videos, and effects. Samsung says that the S10 Ultra has bested the S9 Ultra in CPU and GPU performance by 18 and 28% respectively. In my test, however, it showed a 34% improvement in single core and a massive 50% improvement in multi-core performance. Similar to the single core though, the GPU test also recorded a 34% performance improvement. The multi-core and GPU updates should make a noticeable difference in your multitasking with high-end gaming, graphic design, and any other of the power-hungry tasks that you do on your tablet. Again, this by no means makes the S9 Ultra a bad tablet. It's still a powerhouse, still holds its own for everyday and complex tasks. But in terms of raw power, the S10 Ultra has the edge, making it more future-proof for demanding apps and multitasking as we stand right now. Now, both tablets are equipped with the same 11,200 mAh battery and support 45 watts fast charging, so charging speed and operational time remain consistent between the two. They're saying that the S10 Ultra's more efficient processor will give you slightly better battery life, especially when handling intensive tasks like gaming or video editing, but it's not really noticeable, to be honest. I may do an exact comparison later on where I test the battery life and play games and watching TV and editing or rendering videos to see if there's a real difference. But I suspect the difference is slim to none, but we'll see. Both tablets feature the same 13 megapixel main camera and 8 megapixel ultra wide camera on the back. Along with dual 12 megapixel front cameras for selfies and video calls, the camera performance remains consistent and you can capture 4K video on both devices. Here are some shots from the main camera. front selfie camera in portrait and photo settings. Now video with the front and rear cameras. If we're talking software and operation, the S10 Ultra ships with Android 14 and Samsung's One UI 6.1.1, giving it access to Galaxy AI, a suite of AI-powered tools that enhance productivity, such as AI-powered note-taking, image generation, and multi-device management through SmartThings. The S9 Ultra, on the other hand, launched with Android 13 with UI 5.1, but it has already received Android 14 with 6.1. and will get 3 more years of updates. It'll obviously lag behind the most updated Tab of that year, but it'll eventually get the update. The S10 Ultra is more future-proof in this regard. It'll likely get future updates first, and it'll be around for long. The great thing about a similar form factor and not much change is the accessories from the previous version all fit. I have the book cover keyboard for the S9 Ultra, and that works perfectly with a Samsung S10 Ultra, and my rubber cover for the times when I don't want to have the flip out keyboard. Look at this. Snaps right in. Now, the book cover keyboard is great. It attaches well and it works well on a flat surface. But I've definitely found that once you take this from a flat surface and you start, using it on your couch, on your bed, and you're trying to do work, it simply pops out. It's very easy to pop out. The magnets are not super strong. So although it snaps in really well, like it did there, it doesn't stay snapped in. If you take it off balance and it starts to flex, it doesn't really hold the screen to the keyboard. So what I always suggest for people is that if you're using a keyboard cover protective case, you should still have one of these flexi rubber cases or another, one of those rigid cases that doesn't have a keyboard with it. That way, if you're on the couch or if you're on the bed and you're using the tablet and you don't necessarily need the keyboard, then you use this instead, because this becomes very unwieldy and it just starts flexing and it pops off and it doesn't work super well, in my opinion. I don't know, you tell me in the comments what has been your experience with keyboard covers and whether or not you found it difficult to use on beds, on couches, etc. So let me know. Finally, let's talk about the value. The Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra is currently priced at $1199, the same as the S9 Ultra at launch. So again, not the cheapest tablet you'll ever find and not an increase in price, which is good, but I feel like we know why the price didn't go up. However, if you want to get the S10 Ultra and you already have the S9 Ultra, you can purchase via Samsung's trade-in program and trade in your S9 Ultra for $800 off. So your tablet before tax will be $399 in the US. If you have an earlier model of Samsung tablets, you can get a discount as well, but of course the S9 Ultra drives the highest value when returning. Of course, Samsung's website still has the S9 Ultra at $1199 to ensure that they sell the S10 Ultra, which obviously is a deal at the same price as we stand today. But have no fear, you likely get some deals on the S9 Ultra really soon. With price out of the way, is the S10 worth it? Is it value? I say yes. Yes. If it's an upgraded version, although not a lot of upgrades, from the previous tablet at the same price in the future, when thinking about inflation and the time value of money, shout out to my finance head, by definition, that's value. But more subjectively, should you buy it over the S9 Ultra? I don't think so, but that's still your decision. Let me paint some scenarios for you. 1, you're a techie or an early adopter, so you're going to buy it anyway, so good for you. S10 Ultra is your best bet. You have an S9 Ultra and you want to upgrade on the cheap via the trade-in. Caveat, I know this works in the US, but I'm not sure it works internationally. But if you do that, then good for you, you got the S10 Ultra. Or you use your tablet frequently for work, editing, graphic design, AI, and a lot of other taxing tasks where you think the performance boost would give you an edge, then here you go, the S10 Ultra is for you. Or you have a much older tablet in the Samsung series, maybe S7 or earlier, then of course upgrading to the S10 Ultra is a no-brainer at that point. On the other hand, if you have the S9 Ultra and you use it for viewing media content and regular tasks, it's powerful enough and will get all of the future upgrades for the next 3 years. So if you don't upgrade right this moment, you're not missing out. Look at the time. Now that we've covered Samsung's best tablet lineup to date, click this video here if you want to see their latest smartwatches like the Galaxy Watch Ultra match up against each other. And let me know in the comments which tablet you choose or why you won't be choosing it at all. I look forward to hearing from you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.